All right, Raider Nation. So I just got done watching the press conference with Pete Carroll and SpyTech, and there's a few things that I kind of take away from this that I want to share with you about both of these guys. So let's get right into it in today's video here on the Raider D podcast. And remember, if you like daily Raiders news, information, interviews with players, etc., and on and on and on, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. It really helps us out with the algorithm here to push this out to more people and convert more people to becoming Raiders fans. All right, so here's the first thing that I take away from today's press conference, the introductory press conference with the new head coach and Pete Carroll, who is 73 years old. Number one, the dude does not look like or sound like a 73-year-old. He absolutely is energetic. He was sharp. He was attentive. He did have to ask guys to repeat the question a couple of times, so maybe the hearing might be going a little bit, but that is to be expected at 73 years old, especially playing, coaching in a career with a loud environment. Other than that, I gotta say, the age of Pete Carroll doesn't concern me like it was concerning other people. Most people at 73 years old, i.e. Joe Biden, have completely lost their mind, and it's obvious that they are suffering from some form of dementia and memory loss and lower cognitive ability. You do not get any of that when you sit and listen to Pete Carroll talk, answer questions, and be very coherent and very sharp with his responses. So, not worried about his age at this point right now. Now, when you get up there into the 70s, things can quickly change. So we'll just have to, kind of judge this year by year and see how Pete Carroll does. It's only a 3-year deal, but just judging off of how well he performed today, I've got to say, not a big concern. The second thing about John SpyTech, let's get into him. John SpyTech, he's been in the NFL for quite some time. And he's worked with Tampa Bay. He's worked with other organizations like the Broncos and stuff like that. This dude is very, 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 very qualified to hold this position for the first time as a GM. And the most impressive thing about him was his commitment to finding character guys, right? It's not about being the fastest. And very telling, he even was talking about the quarterback situation. It wasn't about having the strongest arm or even the most accurate arm, but it was about character when it comes to the quarterback, as well as all other players. And I've got to say, this could bode well for Aiden O'Connell because we know he's a very high character guy. We also know that he can sling the ball around. And talking about that situation, kind of pivoting back over to Pete Carroll, is when he was talking about protecting the quarterback and making sure that the quarterback can be successful by running the football. And we know that Pete Carroll likes to run the ball. I mean, he had Marshawn Lynch and he's had other great running backs that he has won a lot of games with. And it kind of goes into his coaching philosophy that you have to have a very strong offensive line and you have to be able to run the ball. So there is going to be a much higher premium on the running back position with Pete Carroll and SpyTech versus last year, with the GM there with Tom Telesco, where he didn't value the running back at all. And we've seen just how much that affected the team. Imagine Aiden O'Connell as the starting quarterback. And again, I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell's a superstar, so don't kill me down in the comments, or go ahead and kill me down in the comments because that just helps boost the video's algorithm anyway. But because he did not value the running back, Aiden O'Connell had no run game. Gardner Minshew had no run game. Even Desmond Ridder, right? We really suffered when it came to the run game. And I kind of feel bad for Antonio Pierce because he was preaching the run type of football. And that's why he brought in Luke Getsy, because Luke Getsy was supposed to be good as an offensive coordinator when it comes to the run game. But it just didn't work out. And why didn't it work out? One, we had offensive line situation, which wasn't very good for the first half of the season. It got better, but the first half, it was terrible. And then we just didn't have a running back, man. Zamir White is not a starting caliber running back in the NFL. And Alexander Madison had some good plays and he did okay. But again, he's not just Saquon Barkley, right? and he's not Aaron Jones. He's not any of these guys that's going to get you 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 yards on the ground. And because of that, it really hurt the team. No one was afraid of the Raiders running the ball last season. I think that's going to change. I think there's going to be a much higher premium on whether it's free agency and you go out and get an Aaron Jones, or you go and you draft your running back. And I think that in my understanding, if you look at John Spytek and the fact that he was an assistant GM when Tom Brady was there with Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl, and the style of quarterback that Tom Brady was, it is very much the style of Aiden O'Connell. Again, Aiden O'Connell's not at that level, but still similar play style. So that could bode well for Aiden O'Connell. And then if you put a premium on bringing in an absolute beast of a running back to this organization, and you boost up that offensive line even more, we need a couple of guards, and JPJ definitely needs to move back to center and get rid of Andre James, then yes, you can run the ball, and then you can do play action passes, and you can do timed offense, which Aiden O'Connell's going to be good at, so that he's not having to sit there and make off-script plays, which he is not good at. And so I'm kind of just wondering right now, drop a comment down below if you think this is on point or completely crazy. But I'm kind of wondering right now with Pete Carroll and Spytek, if this year we even try to move up and grab Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. I know Shedeur Sanders is still high on the list in that building, but remember, that's from the old organization. We don't know for sure what Pete Carroll wants to do right now. He hasn't even established bringing in his entire assistant coaching staff yet. And so there's going to be changes in the scouting room. There's going to be changes. Champ Kelly may end up leaving the Raiders. And so you could have an all brand new GM staff and head coach staff, and that could completely change everything. And Shedeur Sanders might not even be on the list in a week or two as a potential option for the Raiders. And so it could be that you go with Aiden O'Connell and you boost up that run game and that offensive line. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this press conference between the two of them, trying to read between the lines and see what they're really saying. If you guys agree with that, let me know down in the comments and let me know why. So I'm going to say this. There's another thing that I took away from this, and this is from both of those guys, which is they're going to lean heavily on Tom Brady, and Tom Brady was heavily involved in bringing both of these guys to the Raiders. And they gave kudos to Mark Davis and the Davis family and everything, but they made it pretty clear that who was really in charge of recruiting Spytek and Pete Carroll, it was Tom Brady. And that they're going to continue to rely on Tom Brady and lean on Tom Brady in the future to pick his brain, especially at the quarterback situation. But this is not going to be a lopsided situation like we had with Antonio Pierce having absolutely no say in the free agencies, especially the quarterback. That was all Tom Telesco. He had all the power, all the might, and there was no collaboration, as reports have come out. It appears very much that Pete Carroll came here with the understanding, and he made this very clear, that these decisions will be made jointly, and it is a partnership. It will not be a deference. In fact, he said the way that he likes to do it, like in Seattle, you didn't know whether it was the GM or it was Pete Carroll making the decision for this player or that player or whatever it may be, because they were symbiotic. And so every decision they would get together and make it jointly. And, if they can't come to a decision, then maybe they'll go to Tom Brady to kind of be the tiebreaker between the two of them. And John Spytek was shaking his head like, yeah, that's how we're going to do it, right? It's going to be a collaboration between head coach and GM. And so going to be a completely different dynamic than with Tom Telesco and Antonio Pierce, where it was very lopsided. And, Antonio Pierce said that in his very last press conference, which is, if he gets another year, he's definitely going to have more say in who the quarterback is, because that was a mistake. And so he basically let the cat out of the bag that he had been overruled and was forced to go with Gardner Minshew. That's definitely not going to be the case with a guy at the caliber of Pete Carroll. He is going to get what he wants because he simply has the championships and the wins and the history to be able to do that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited about the Raiders in 2025. Hope you are as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like button, and I will see you in the next Raiders video.